Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I know many of you feel that I work a lot hard in the kitchen. In fact, Indian cooking is and can be a little tedious, taking away a lot of time. So I thought I should be easing up this time in the kitchen, making life easy, not just for me, but for you all as well. So here is to 5 instant dosa recipes that you would love to try at home. We all thoroughly love and enjoy eating dosas. Making them takes away a lot of time, especially soaking, grinding and fermenting. So I'm sharing some very easy recipes that you can make. So make sure to save this video for good and try it for yourself and let me know what you all think. So the first dosa recipe is Godi dosa, wheat flour dosa. Super healthy, super easy to make as well. I have measured in 2 cups of wheat flour, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, jeera, salt to taste, a tablespoon of rice flour and plenty of water that I combine, whisking it, making sure there are no lumps, and this is the consistency you're looking for. In fact, it should be a pouring consistency. This dosa can be made instantly, but if you have the luxury of soaking time, then you can soak in for 30 minutes. The next recipe is a multigrain dosa recipe with half a cup of bajra flour, half a cup of jawar flour, quarter cup of rice flour, half a cup of wheat flour, pinch of salt and pinch of cooking soda. Sufficient water to combine it well and to have a pouring consistency. The next dosa recipe is rava dosa, for which I have finely chopped onions, green chilies and coriander leaves. If you have fresh coconut at home, you can chop and add in fresh coconut chunks as well to this. It will taste heavenly. 1 cup of very fine semolina, half a cup of rice flour, salt to taste, 1 small onion finely chopped, 1 green chili finely chopped, coriander leaves, a tablespoon of low-fat yogurt and water. Giving it a good mix, combining it well, and here we have rava dosa batter ready. The fourth recipe, it's just a normal dosa recipe using 1 cup of very fine semolina, 1 tablespoon of poha flakes, avlaki. I set it to grind together to form a paste. Now I add in more water to have a good flowing consistency, but not very runny. We want it to be slightly thick, and then to this I add in salt and pinch of cooking soda, half a teaspoon of sugar and a tablespoon of low-fat yogurt. All these dosa recipes are instant recipes that you can make. You can make them straight away once you have the dosa batter ready. But if you have the luxury of time, then you can soak them for either 30 minutes, 1 hour or overnight as well, but not necessarily. I thought it will be a lot easier if I do all of them together at once, in which way it's going to be a super easy video for you all to watch together at once. I'm planning to make chutney and potato palya. So let me make a quick potato palya sabzi with a tablespoon of oil, half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, a teaspoon of chana dal and urad dal. We'll let them turn crunchy, and then to this I add in 1 medium-sized onion, a string of curry leaves. Once they turn translucent, that's when I add in 1/8 teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of green chili paste, salt to taste, few drops of fresh lime, boiled and mashed potatoes, giving it a good stir and warming it up nicely. And once it's really nice and hot, that's when I finish it off by adding in fresh coriander leaves. I'm also making a chutney for the dosas. I do not have fresh coconut at home. In fact, the one which I bought got spoiled. So I'm making a chutney using peanuts today. I'm dry roasting 2 handfuls of peanuts on a medium flame until you can see them sizzling, popping, and they change the color. That's when I add the roasted peanuts into the mixie jar, along with half an inch of ginger, handful of coriander leaves, salt to taste, a tablespoon of dariya dal, kadle, putani, fresh lime, water to grind into a thick chutney. Now let's make a tadka with a tablespoon of oil, half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once they splutter in, I add in a teaspoon of urad dal, a string of curry leaves, now we can create one additional interesting dosa recipe using the same batter, but a complete good twist, for which I'm having grated carrot, onions, green chilies and coriander leaves which are finely chopped. And I'm using a small pan which is square in shape to make bread omelette, bread dosa. I use a bread slice and dip it in the dosa batter, the one which had rava and avlaki blended in together in a mixie jar. And I dip it completely and then set it on the pan. Sprinkle in onions, grated carrot, green chilies and coriander leaves. Flip it on the other side. So here is to a very interesting bread omelette, bread dosa that you can enjoy piping hot just on its own. It will taste fabulously good. And now I'm using a very regular dosa pan, smearing oil on the pan, and once the pan is nicely heated up from all sides, that's when I pour in the same batter with quarter teaspoon of oil on top. And then once you see the sides are golden in color, that's when you know it's done, and you can flip it on the other side as well. You can see a beautiful golden color that you didn't need any soaking or fermenting time at all. You can make this dosa instantly. I'm going to enjoy it with potato palya now. What an amazing day that I get to enjoy different types, different varieties of dosas all together, one after the other. It's like living at home but enjoying the hotel glory of having different varieties of dosas one after the other. Now I'm making rava dosa. Now very important to bear in mind when you're making rava dosas, the whole thing, the whole mixture, the whole batter is kind of settled in at the bottom. So it's important to mix it, to give it a good stir, to combine it well. Every time, every individual dosa, whenever you're making it, just give it a good mix. You'll get a good, nice dosa with all the ingredients of the recipe. I smear oil on the pan, and after a good mix of the dosa mix, I pour it using this cup of mine, spreading it evenly and adding in half a teaspoon of oil. And once you see the change in color from all the sides, you know this is the time. You can flip the dosa. A lovely, tasty rava dosa that you can enjoy not only on weekends but on weekdays as well from now on. I enjoyed this rava dosa with chutney and aloo katti palya. Now I'm making multigrain dosa. So this is the consistency you're looking for. It has to be a nice pouring consistency. Try and use a cup like this which has an edge, in which way it's going to be a lot easier for you to pour in the batter onto the tawa. It has this good flow, spreading the batter evenly. And then flip the dosa now. Now I've got to admit one thing, I didn't add cooking soda to this recipe when I was making the batter. But if you add in a pinch of cooking soda to the batter, it can be a total game changer. It was nice and crispy but slightly hard. Adding in that one pinch of cooking soda can make a huge difference to the texture of the dosa. I was so packed and so full eating all different varieties of dosas today. So I saved up making godi dosa later in the evening when I was hungry for dinner. So the last dosa that I'm yet to try is godi dosa, which actually tasted fabulous. I mean, making dosa cannot be this quick and this easy. It was more easier than making chapatis as well, where you have to roll the chapatis. But if you are a diabetic patient, and if you feel the need of eating wheat flour and skipping the rice, then this is an easy solution that you can take in. Just combining wheat flour and water and adding jeera is all that it takes to make dosas. I really hope you found this video and these recipes of making instant dosas at home super useful, super helpful as well. And if you did, please make sure to give a thumbs up to this video, and also make sure to share this video with your loved ones so that it's going to be useful for them as well. And also please leave a comment, because I love reading your comments. And also make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new. This gives me a lot of motivation and inspiration to keep going, to continue working. So sharing new ideas, new recipes with you all. Thank you so much for watching this video in full. Take care everyone. See you all again soon in my next video. Bye-bye for now.